In Grand Army Plaza, on the very southeastern tip of Grand Central Park, stands the William Tecumseh Sherman Memorial, a 40-meter equestrian statue of the great Union general. This statue, dedicated in 1903, was sculpted by Augustus St. Gaudens, famous for his statues commemorating various Union generals. The Sherman Memorial represents, through its massive scale, bright gilded coloring, and heroic equestrian depiction of Sherman, St. Gaudens' attempt to drive in the fundamental honor of Sherman in the Union cause in an era when much of the nation was moving towards a reconciliation based on segregation and nostalgia for the Confederacy. The first thing one notices about the statue is that it is a brilliant shade of gold, a gold the photos I took didn't do justice. On a bright enough day, if one views the statue at certain angles, it is literally blinding. This is an intentional choice on St. Gaudens' part. The gold statue, located as it is through a park full of bronze and marble pieces, catches the eye from a long distance. It is also a break from the typical conventions of the equestrian memorial, a genre traditionally known for bronzes. This highlights Sherman and the cause of Union for which he fought as deserving of special recognition. Another area that calls attention to Sherman is the massive scale of the statue. When combined with the pedestal it is placed on, which itself is taller than most people, the memorial on the whole stands at almost 40 feet. The figure of Sherman itself is 15 feet, literally larger than life. There is no way for any human to look upon Sherman without looking up at him. Another important feature of the dimensions is that it is impossible to see Sherman's face while standing in front of the statue and directly facing it. Only the spirit of victory piece can be seen. Sherman can only be viewed by standing alongside him as his soldiers would have and looking up to him, further emphasizing Sherman's greatness. Another crucial aspect of this statue is the equestrian medium in and of itself. The equestrian memorial, though out of style today due to pacifist sentiments and a lack of cavalry in modern warfare, has been a symbol of military prowess since ancient Rome. The fact alone that Sherman is given an equestrian statue is an honor in and of itself, but St. Gaudens also breaks from the standards of the medium to highlight the cause for which Sherman fought. In addition to the gilding, there is a genius of victory figure leading Sherman. Having an additional figure on an equestrian memorial is unconventional enough, but it's also relevant that the model for the victory figure was Hetty Anderson, the daughter of slaves freed during Sherman's march to the sea, which devastated the secessionist class of plantation owners. This addition to the memorial, both in the presence of victory itself and the specific choice of Anderson as a model, implies that Sherman is not just a great military general, but also one led by a higher moral vision, that his victory was a victory for an America built on freedom and liberty for all people. And as the statue of Sherman was erected, that vision was in retreat all across the nation. The old slave-owning elites had retaken their old positions of power through the South. On an even more insidious level, groups like the United Daughters of the Confederacy promoted an ideology known as the Lost Cause, which claimed the South fought for states' rights rather than slavery. A key part of this narrative was the alleged gallantry of Southern generals like Robert E. Lee and the alleged brutality of Sherman's burning of Atlanta. The North, exhausted by decades of sectional conflict, mostly acquiesced to this consensus. The Sherman Memorial was one of the last great Union statues, as Union monuments relied from donations from private citizens, oftentimes soldiers who were Civil War veterans who were rapidly dying out. Jim Crow governments at all levels in the South paid for Confederate statues. But as we as a society today debate Confederate monuments, the Sherman Memorial and St. Gaudens' vision are more important than ever.